Morning. How you guys doing? It is August 24th, 2025. Got a beautiful blue sky. It's 10:30 in the morning. We're at the garden. And let's go for a walkthrough. What do you say? We still have had no rain. Like literally the whole fucking summer. I think we've had rain twice. Everything is suffering. And I'm not able to get here to hand water stuff. So things are just pushing through. Some things are a little stressed. We've lost some stuff. So let's go, let's check it out. Well, what do you say we start with the basil? I think I'm going to harvest this stuff maybe one day this week because I'm starting to lose it. And I don't want to lose the whole crop. So that's Genovese basil. And here we have Thai basil. And if you look at the leaves, see how they're all curled up, right? Those should be nice and flat, but they're all curled up. So I think we're just gonna harvest the basil. We've got Swiss chard here, and it is certainly not happy. Look at that. So, I mean, it's growing lots of growth in the middle, but the plant is definitely suffering. We've got green, yellow, and purple bush beans. How do they look? Look at the color on these guys. Isn't that awesome? Right? The only issue with bush beans is that when they get too big, they get like this. Here, I'll show you. When they get too big, they get really leathery. So with bush beans, there's like a finite time where you can pick them so they're still good. If not, you just throw them away. They won't do you any good. We've got cilantro. It's coming along all right. It's starting to go to seed, which is basically par for the course for cilantro. When it gets to that point, because with cilantro, this is what you're looking for, right? That's what you're looking for right there. I mean, this leafy stuff here is okay too, but it's harder to process that down. It's easier to work with those bigger leaves. How's the peppers looking? This whole thing is that's all peppers all the way up to there. Let's take a look. Do we have any flowers? We had a few flowers last time. Okay. We have a few flowers. But it looks like I am not going to get a second crop growing of peppers. I mean, it's the 24th of August. And anything that starts now will probably not have enough time to finish. These plants should just be loaded with flowers. Loaded. And there's a few. Now underneath there is an entire crop of peppers, like second story. I'll show you down here. You can see a little better. Let's lift this up. See what I'm saying? So it put out a whole crop of peppers earlier on in the season. They're just loaded down there, like loaded. And then nothing up top still. And I fed them a massive dose of phosphorus a couple weeks ago. And so these things should just be popping, but they're not. How's the tomatoes looking? So this first row right here, these are all my San Marzanos I'm growing for spaghetti sauce. And we have some blossom end rot, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So when I go through, see, this is kind of the kicker here. Look at all of those have blossom end rot. So I'm here to do a bunch of work in the garden today. So when I come through, any of the tomatoes that have blossom end rot on them, we're just simply cutting them right out of the garden and throwing them away. I'm not gonna let the plant use up energy to grow tomatoes that we're just gonna end up throwing away anyhow. And then got some sort of disease in here. I'm not sure what disease this is. I'm gonna have to look into it. It's probably blight, but I'm not sure. Gotta look into that. Tomatoes have a lot of diseases, and I'm definitely not a disease expert, that's for sure. But I mean, there's lots of tomatoes on here. Like there's just, you know, cluster after cluster after cluster of tomatoes. So basically what I'm doing now, I'm at the stage of the season where I'm picking what's ripe and I'm bringing it home and I'm just processing them down. I'm putting them in the freezer. And then when it's time to make spaghetti sauce, I'll just have all kinds of just frozen San Marzanos to make spaghetti sauce with. See, look here. And some of you are thinking, oh, you have a calcium deficiency. Nope, I absolutely, see, here's more. I don't have a calcium deficiency. Each one of these plants was planted with pure calcium in the hole when they were planted. Blossom end rot is caused by an inability of the plant to move calcium up through its vascular system due to infrequent watering. And because we've had no rain, it's really not moving the calcium up the plant. Got lots of beautiful cherry tomatoes though. Look at that. That's beautiful. And then we've got the blue chocolates like I did in the short the other day. Yes, they are really that color, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, and these are almost ready to go. Good. Going to be taking some of those home today. We've got some larger tomatoes down here. Apparently the critters have decided to eat that one. I don't mind. I'll share a little bit. A little bit. Not a whole lot though. Squeeze through here. Holy jeez. Look at this. How's that for a big old cluster of tomatoes? Yep. We'll be taking tomatoes home today. They're pretty good size. Down here, these are my canary melons. And I don't know if squash vine borer got to them. And they're not ready until they're bright yellow. And they're not ready yet. So I was going to come in here and clean all this out, but I don't know which vines are attached to that dead crap, and I really just don't want to mess with it yet. I'll probably just give it another week, and I'm just hoping that there's enough life left in those vines to just keep ripening that fruit, because they're even on the other side. You can see one right there, right? And then over here, guys, check this out. That is a banana melon. That thing's a beast. It's my first time growing these. These were all supposed to be on the trellis, but they're not on the trellis because I missed a couple of weeks here and the plants decided they were going to grow on the ground. So I have this ginormous fucking trellis that I built and nothing's growing on it. But I'm excited for that banana melon. They're supposed to be really good. And then there's more growth in there. I'm hoping there's another melon hiding in there. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. And then over here we have a watermelon that is still growing, but the plants they aren't doing so. Look at this. There is a tomato, okay, growing out of the patch of dirt that my watermelon's in. So a tomato or a squirrel must have dropped some, or a rabbit or a rat or something must have dropped tomato seeds in there. So those aren't ready yet, and the plants are not doing good. So will they finish up in time? That's a great question. And then over here we have another watermelon plant, which is a lot smaller than that. And these are still green, so that's a good sign. But these are supposed to be, I think, like 25-pound melons. And clearly by the side of my boot, they have a long way to go. Up here, we finally have green beans on the plants, guys. Finally. These are Blue Lake pole beans. So I'll be picking some of these. We're going to can all of these beans. And that right up the pole, hanging out in space. Jazz hands. We are going to be harvesting onions real soon. This is how you know when your onions are ready, guys. When they flop over, when it gets all squishy here at the neck. Oh yeah. When the neck is squishy, right at the bend, right, it's time to harvest. So I think we're gonna probably harvest our onions today. That's gonna be a great onion harvest. Look at that. We've got reds down here. They're red Wetterling, I think Wetterling. And then we have, I think these are Jamesons. I think that's the variety those are. And these, hey, look at this. It's finally, look at that. These, let me get out of the light. These are Turkish eggplant. Oh, and they're still hard. Can you guys see? There we go. So these are Turkish eggplant. And they're supposed to be like a premium eggplant. This is a big old plant. We have more down here. There we go. We got a couple down in there too. We have 3 of these. This is broccoli. That's broccoli. Look at that. This is broccoli when it goes to flower. So we have broccoli and cauliflower in this mess. My carrots are definitely not going to be very big this year. Let's see. Wow, is that ever dry? We need rain so bad, guys. These carrot tops should be like twice as tall as they are. And so that's indicative of how small the carrots are going to be in the ground as well. What else we got going on here? We got a couple of cabbages, and we've got this going on, and it's just blown right open. And then this one here, it's also blown right open. So I think I got to pull these cabbages before they're totally ruined. I probably won't even eat these 2, but I got to get these out of the ground, because what's the point of growing them if they're just going to go and get spoiled, right? We've got Brussels sprouts, and they're growing sprouts. They're just weird looking here too. Oh, it's bug damage, that's why. Bugs are getting all up into my Brussels sprouts. Let's come down one more pathway. We're almost done. And here's the leeks. They're okay. They're definitely not as big as I'm hoping, but season's not over yet. So I mean, there's lots of leeks. These are we're gonna make homemade potato leek soup. So if you guys like potato leek soup, we make it from scratch, and I'll show you guys how to do that. If you guys aren't subscribed, you should subscribe, and then that way when it's time to make the soup, you guys can follow along and make it for yourselves. So, well, we're definitely struggling in the garden. I have irrigation tubing at home, and I have a 55-gallon rain barrel. I think it's going to be pretty damn hard to install it now, but I think what we're going to do for next season is we're going to install that the drip tape for the irrigation, and we're just going to lay it down as we lay down the geotextile next season. And then that way, if we have another summer like this, I'll literally just open up the valve on the rain barrel And I can do that, you know, once a week and at least get 55 gallons of water out onto the garden. I mean, it's nowhere near what the garden would need, but if I can do that once a week, at least the garden will be getting some kind of water, because I don't remember the last time we had a summer like this with no rain. Like, guys, look at the grass. It's just dead. I work for a landscape company, and my landscapers, they're not even cutting grass anymore. They're not even taking the lawnmowers off the trucks when they get to the job sites. It's like this all over here. So I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely affecting the garden. So I hope you guys' gardens are growing really good. Hope you guys have lots of food and massive harvests. I mean, my harvest isn't going to be a write-off by any means, but the other problem is, you guys probably notice, right? There's patches in the garden like here where nothing's growing. It's just geotextile. Well, I was gonna put a fall crop in here, but if I can't get here to water and we're not getting any rain, anything I plant here, even seedlings, they're just gonna die, right? If I can only get here once a week, because basically with my current work schedule, I'm only able to get here once a week. If I put fall crop in here, I don't think they're gonna make it. So I haven't even started anything. And I looked ahead for the next 2 weeks for weather, and they're not calling for rain. So kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, the good thing about having that geotextile down is there's no weeds growing in the garden, right? So at least there's that. Well, I'm gonna get to getting to do a bunch of stuff here. So have an awesome day, grow good food, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment, you know, all that social media nonsense. Have a great day. Peace.